Hello everybody and welcome back. Unfortunately, I think I jinxed myself by putting it out there that I would have a microphone by the next time I started vlogging. I had an issue with the Amazon retailer continually pushing the arrival date back, so I canceled my order and went with a different retailer. That should be arriving in the next few days, so we'll likely get to play with it later on in this video and see if it makes any difference at all. Right now we're just coming out of cleanup week, so I haven't had much opportunity to pick up the camera anyways, and really I probably could have waited for the microphone to come in if it weren't for one project that I am currently working on. So I'm probably not going to record a whole lot today, but I will take you over and explain what we're doing. So as you can see here, my catalog shelf is getting quite full. I've been trying to figure out what I'm going to do. Obviously, I could take out the Kitchler shelf on the bottom and just box those up and keep them elsewhere, but really that would only be a temporary fix, and I would like some more functionality in being able to use my catalogs. So I have had this other shelf that I figured I could expand into for the time being if I had to, but with the recent cleanup week festivities, I was keeping an eye out for something better. So first of all, I found this little display rack set out, which I thought I could put some of my most used catalogs on so that they're a little bit more functional to get to. It's not so much an expansion, but it would open up a little space on that shelf and allow me easier access to those catalogs that I do go into frequently. I had been contemplating just purchasing one of these online, but I was thrilled to find one for free, so I was already excited about that until I stumbled upon this. This is the exact type of unit that I was hoping to find. It's got display space on top for a ton of catalogs as well as storage drawers in the bottom. I'm still truly blown away that exactly what I needed was sitting out on the curb during cleanup week. Long term, I may need to do some modifications because some of my larger catalogs sort of slump in these slots. I like to keep my catalogs in prime condition, but really just to fix that issue, I just need some shimming in the front of these slots. But before I even bother getting into any of that, I just want to load it up and live with it for a little bit to figure out how it's going to work for me. It is quite heavy and was very much a pain to get down here, so I don't think it will ever be moved out of this space. If it does go out, it will be going out in pieces after it's destroyed with a sledgehammer. So with that being said, once we got it down here, it was pretty crusty, so I did spend a lot of time cleaning it up. The last thing I really want to do is get some new hardware for the drawers, but that's not even a priority right now. What I am going to do and what I wanted to document for you guys is I'm going to empty this shelf and start rearranging this corner so that I can get this unit in. It's definitely wider and deeper than what I have going on right now, so it's going to be interesting to see what the end result is here. So I'm going to go ahead and get started. Alright, so I got it shoved in. I'm not sure that this layout of pieces is what I'm going to keep long term. For now, I'm just going to put it together. I may also swap out this shelf with one of the taller ones because it would obviously give me more storage space, but I'm not going to focus on that for tonight. Mainly what I want to do is get the catalogs back in here and get this corner back together as much as I can. And I think for the most part that's going to wrap it up because I think I want to go do a couple of other videos in the studio. So let's get into reloading. So this is pretty much everything except my dealer binders and the extra Kitchler copies. We can pretty much forget about that shim idea that I was talking about. I have enough catalogs that I have to do multiple layers and they kind of help prop each other up. You can see on this one it's doing kind of what I was talking about where it slumps on the end. I don't really want them to do that, so I might have to do some rearranging in order to make sure nothing is doing that. So for the moment I have everything in, but this is likely to change again. This Modern Forms catalog is also slumping a little bit. I figured this was going to be pretty full, but it did actually fill up a lot quicker than I thought it would. So I am considering putting some of my more archival catalogs and books maybe back on one of the shelves. When it comes to new products, I am referencing my catalogs quite often, so it is nice to be able to pull one out and not have to force it back into the stack. When it comes to the older catalogs, though, even just a few years older, they don't really need to be up here because I don't reference them as often. So I'm thinking they could probably be a little bit more tucked away as they were before, just to give me a little bit more playing room up top. I do also have the drawer space to play with, which I really haven't contemplated what I'm going to do with yet. For tonight, I'm pretty much going to just throw those Kitchler catalogs back in there and maybe the binders as well. That's the other thing I'm thinking with putting some of my older catalogs back on a shelf, is I could put the binders back on a shelf like they used to be as well. They alone would take up quite a bit of space in this unit, and I don't know that they'd really sit very well in here. So I'm still kind of throwing ideas around and figuring out what I might want to do there. But I will keep you guys updated throughout this video or in future videos if I don't get back to working on this. So I'm going to call it a night here, get my rug back down and throw these drawers in, and I will see you guys back here again soon. Hi everybody, so I am not really doing anything tonight, but I did want to check in and give you a few updates. Basically, I tried to vlog some of what I'm going to update you on, but the footage was very incoherent. I got so laser focused on what I was trying to accomplish that I sort of forgot certain updates and it was really just a mess. So I scrapped that footage. There wasn't a lot of it because I was running out of space on my memory card at the time. It was really just sort of updates in the moment as I was doing things. So now I'm just going to run through and show you what I did to get you back up to speed. The first major update though is that my microphone is in. Aside from that footage, which I didn't even import into the computer, I haven't really done any vlogging with it yet. So for right now, the audio might be complete trash. I couldn't really tell on the built-in camera speaker. I'm going to have to import it and see what it actually sounds like. So if anything is awful for the time being, bear with me and I will get it figured out. So on to updates. I'm going to catalog section first. Up top, I didn't do a whole lot of rearranging basically. I just spread a few things out to make it more filled in for the time being until I get more catalogs to actually fill it up more. And if you didn't catch what I was doing in the last clips, basically this is all in alphabetical order except for this top slot. You can see up above I did do a little bit of rearranging as far as wall hangings go. I felt like this needed something centered above it to make it feel a little bit more cohesive in the space. As of right now, I haven't replaced that with anything else over here. The other new update there is that I did grab some new hardware for the drawers. Next to that, I did swap out the shelving unit that was here with one of the taller ones, and this one is actually a little bit narrower, so it fits in this space a little bit better. So that made space for my dealer binders and most of the Kitchler catalogs. There are a few extras down in a drawer. And then aside from that, I just replicated some of the control and antique display that I had going on in this corner already. I do have some open space down here, which you guys know is a rarity around here. Not sure exactly what I'm going to fit in there, but I'm sure I'll find something eventually. From there, I think I'm on to display updates, and there are quite a few because I was working on some of this in that deleted footage. So in this location that was empty before, I had already put up my Navajo White Emerson Premium. I wanted something with a lot of light output for the surrounding space, and I also liked the aspect of having an uplight to assist in that. For that one, I installed a 4-speed dimmer combo control. I mainly wanted it for the light dimmer, but I do really like the speeds that those controls produce. So in the end, I'm really happy with how this one turned out. It's accomplishing exactly what I wanted it to do. I may change out the glass. I couldn't really settle on what I wanted to do, so I just threw something on that was kind of already sitting out and ready to go. video, so that may change in the future. With the additional light output from that fan, I did eliminate the light kit on the windmill. It just hung a little bit too low and felt rather cumbersome in this entry space, so I think this helps open up the space quite a bit more, and it wasn't really a necessary light kit anyways. Moving on from there, the Emerson came down, and I did move my Canyonlands into this location. There was a whole sequence of events regarding the Emerson remake video and how I needed to get it done to do other things. I explained it before, but I'm not going to do it again here because it's totally irrelevant now. But basically what led to this fan moving to this location is I wanted to put up another new product, but I didn't have anything else that would fit here that also had a light kit. So in place of the Canyonlands, I put up my Kichler Jade. I have very much wanted to put something Kichler up on the display for quite some time now, but I just didn't really have any locations that felt right or necessary to do it. This one I think worked out right. It needed a larger fan to help fill up the space from the surrounding fans, and I really kind of fell back in love with this model. I really forgot how much I liked it. It has been 2 years since I had it out of the box, so I of course always think it's fun to pull my new in-box stuff out again. That one is also installed on an Emerson control. I opted to not use the included control just because I hate stuffing the receiver in that canopy without the lead wires being cut. There's really not a lot of maneuvering room, and I really like the speed selection that those Emerson controls produce. So now from there, with all these other new products in place here, I really wanted to put something new in place of the Mission. So I pulled out my Matthews/Atlas Eliza. This is another new product that I have not really pulled out since the original video. I absolutely love this fan. I always have and always will. I just find it so striking in its simplicity. So I have that remote control mounted up over here above the Canyonlands one. I kind of like the control display that's building here. So that's the update. I really don't have anything else to do tonight, so I'm going to wrap it up for now. The Mission is waiting in the wings. I'm going to find a new location for it later on. So like I said, I'm headed out for tonight, and I will see you guys back for more soon. Hey everybody, I'm back again. I know in the last clips I was talking about finding a new home for the Mission, and that entails some other display stuff. I am going to get into that, but I think I'm going to push it off into the next video because I'm getting up to the point where I have enough footage to put a vlog together for you guys. So right now I'm going to give you a separate set of updates on something else that I've been working on. I've been doing this project kind of off to the side. With this new camera, I am encountering an issue where my memory cards are filling up very quickly. That won't be a problem for much longer. I have memory cards with quadruple the space on the way. The lack of memory space has kind of been defining what I'm able to film and when. So with that aside, I'll go ahead and show you what I've been working on back here. First of all, I will just address that a few new fans have gone up in storage back here. This hasn't really been a focus for right now, but some of these lower hanging ones I did want to get up around the perimeter. So there's that to start, but the main event is actually around on this side. So you guys have seen through the vlogs that I sometimes get in moods where I just need to get something done. I have been tripping over this area for literal years now. It just got so piled in with stuff that I couldn't even function, so this last weekend I decided to tackle some of it. So really it all started with this side. I absolutely needed to expand my storage for new in-box fans again. I've been completely piled up with the incoming new products and just had stacks of boxes sitting out on the floor. And also, in going along with that, I've been wanting to clear off this white wire shelf to have it a little bit more as a display unit than storage. So with the shelving that I added back here, I did have this completely cleared off at one point. You can see I've already put a few items on, and then in the rest of the shuffle back here, I did have to throw a few other items back on it for storage. But 3 small boxes are hardly anything based on what I started with. So I bought this shelf and divided it in half like I did with the ones on that wall, but originally I had no plans to revamp this section of storage. I was actually going to set these sections up here, one on this side and then one on the other side where this other gray shelf is. But once I got down here and reevaluated a little bit, I determined that it would make more sense to continue the storage like I have on this wall over onto this wall. It's a little bit more cohesive, and I decided that these gray shelves would be better for making sort of aisles in this section. My plan here is to combine these two short ones back into a tall one like this to sit in this area. So in the end, this will be an accessible aisle into this shelf. I just got this shelf with light kits into final placement last night. I wasn't really sure where I was going to put it. I didn't really think that I could put anything here going into this because I didn't want to block anything over here, but this shelf is narrow enough that this box will slide past, so this whole little area really worked out well. You can see in the center I've reoriented my movable shelves. One side is blades, the other side is just general storage. I think once I get further along with hanging motors on that side, it will likely be a similar setup to this with movable wire shelving. This setup allows me to utilize all of this open space in the middle, but I can move the shelves to access anything that I need on the ceiling. Over on this side, I'm trying to line things up so that I have access to the struts on either side of the shelving. It's not exactly the most convenient setup, but I think it'll work okay, and eventually I probably could upgrade this shelving to more wire shelves in the future. I'm just utilizing what I have for the moment. So as you can see here, this is definitely still a work in progress. Over on this side, it's still more work in progress as well. I did actually swap out the shelf that was sitting here with a different one because this one was already laid out to actually fit these fans almost perfectly. So that was kind of a win without me even having to do anything. So anyways, things will continue to happen with this, and I'll keep you guys updated on the progress. With that, I'm going to close this video out. Thank you all for watching today. Remember to subscribe and hit the notification bell before you leave so that you don't miss any new updates. Thank you again for watching, and I will see you next time. Click left to watch my last vlog, or click right for the entire shop vlog playlist so that you can start at the beginning.